get back to Massachusetts, boys. It's have to be a hot drop. Massachusetts, pilot, Massachusetts.
Guys, really kick out 10-inch glory.
Shit, sniper fire, get out of it.
Kind of shit. Already dismantled our MHQ.
Fucking idiots told me it was clear, man.
Follow me, boys, is allowed. Hey,
So Barak on the Steam forums asks, migrate from squad or stay? And I think Reforger is a superior game to squad because it has strategic depth. So what I mean by strategic depth, it's the decisions players make during a match and how these decisions echo through time and space. And in Reforger that echo is very, very deep. And in squad that echo is almost non-existent. So let me show you an example. Okay, so let's assume you are fighting over here in Martin. And let's say the defending side is the US side, and the cap zone is that harbor area. And they're coming from the north, the defenders. And the attackers, Soviet side, comes from the east side, and they managed to get a BTR 70 into the town up to this point. Okay, now let's imagine you're an anti-tank player, or just a normal player, you peek around the corner, see the BTR. Let's imagine this is squad. You see the BTR, you tell everybody on squad chat or team chat that there's a BTR. Now what happens is, every player in the area that has an anti-tank kit will make a beeline for the tank and rush it like a bunch of zombies trying to get a shot off. And this creates pretty unrealistic behavior because they know when the players get taken out by the BTR, it's they respawn within 20-30 seconds and they can just take another shot. So the only thing it costs them is one ticket. And that's why squad doesn't have any strategic depth. Now let's look at the same thing for Reforger. Let's say you're a player up here and you get a warning, okay, there's a BTR 70 somewhere in Morton near the church. Now the first thing is that if somebody tells you it's near the church, it could be anywhere here, because enemies are never shown in the map and your own locations are never shown either. Only squad leaders are shown on your own side. So you only get a vague description where the enemy might be. So let's say you're a player in the base just shoveling something or building something. So now you have to run to the armory to get an anti-tank launcher, an M72 launcher for 30 supply points. And it's a one-shot launch on the American side. Because in this game you don't have kits, you have individual items you pick up and carry and use. So you run to the armory, let's say the armory's here, you get that thing, you draw the weapon, and then you have to spend a few minutes winding your way through the town, trying to locate that vehicle and get a good shot at it. And if you miss that shot, you have to run back, get a new launcher, or if you carry two, you can shoot both of them. Now here's what happens if you hit the vehicle. It can get destroyed, it can kill the crew or kill some of the crew, or nothing happens. Now if the BTR gets the guy with the launcher, here's where the strategic depth comes in. Let's say the guy gets taken out, he has to respawn. Now he respawns within, I think, 5 seconds. And here's the weird part, because why am I saying that Reforger has more strategic depth than Squad? Because in Reforger, you respawn within 5 seconds. In Squad, you can respawn 20-30 seconds. So on the surface, my argument doesn't make sense. However, if you respawn in Reforger, it costs 50 supply points. So just you respawning with a basic rifle kit, or rifle, just having a rifle. Then you have to go to the armory, spend 30 points for one launcher shot. And the way this game works in conflict mode is that each town, if you own it, generates a certain amount of supply points. And Morton is a bigger town, so you get like 10 to 13 supply points, I think, every 10 seconds. So let's assume you lose one guy per minute defending that town to the enemy. Then you can replace the guy every minute. And when the supplies are squeezed down to nothing, then you basically have to wait for 1 minute to get one new guy spawned in just to fight the enemies attacking. So it might actually happen that you cannot spawn enough guys in time to react to that vehicle, or the guys already spawned in don't have enough money or supplies in the area to get an anti-tank launcher against the BTR. And that's the strategic depth of the game. The game actually, in Reforger in this case, actually allows you to affect the enemy side in a way that, in this example, the BTR could spend 10-15 minutes just rampaging through the town, and the enemy has nothing to stop it. And a game like Squad doesn't allow that, because everything is balanced. So any tactical victory you have is balanced or washed out by the enemy just spawning in after 30 seconds a new anti-tank launcher. And in Squad, probably the entire map is riddled with squad leader placed rally points. And this actually changes the way that Reforger is played, because if you're that one guy with the anti-tank launcher, the survival of that cap point might depend on you landing a good shot on that thing. And that creates another level of intensity. So Reforger is a bit more like it's a bit more like DayZ than it is like Squad, because you get that intensity of the mistakes or victories you have echoing through the game in time and space. Because you can get caught with your pants down if the enemy attacks with their strategic assets, in this case a BTR-70, and you have nothing left to fight them with. And that makes the game extremely rewarding to play, because any action you take in the game, it can have this deep echo on how the game flows. And that's a lot more rewarding than what you get in Squad. So that's why I made this video, because I think that's something I wanted to highlight, because that's something you don't see from watching people play on a stream or on a video.
Good shit. Well, they know where he is. Shit. If anything, just get in the fucking house. Take cover.